right, so this is going to be the first of a two-part video. Today I'm at the storage unit to grab the restock, and maybe I'll show you guys around a little bit. And then the next video is going to be me at the store. I have 2 weeks worth of restock that I have to find in our storage unit, and I'm really hoping that we have most of the games that we sold the last 2 weeks. So Joe and I come here usually every week, sometimes every 2 weeks, depending on how busy it was at the store. And we restock the store with everything that's sold from the previous week or the previous 2 weeks. So we've been pretty busy the last 2 weeks, selling a lot of consoles and a lot of various games. So I'm going to go through the storage unit, hopefully find those games so I can restock them in the store. So I'm actually here on a Monday before the next Sunday, and I'm here to grab everything now so I can take it home, retest the consoles and controllers, and then I want to price everything appropriately before we put it back in the store on Sunday. So I've got all of this that I also need to put back into the storage unit. These are basically doubles or extras that we had at the store that we don't need at the store. So I'm going to put those on the shelves in here. We have some really good doubles in here. We have another copy of Sly Collection and a couple of the Ratchet Collection. So we also have these at the store, which is really cool. And of course we have easily couple of dozen of these Wii Fit boards that, quite frankly, I'm not even sure why we're keeping them at this point. So a while back, I think it was in June, maybe July, I posted a video about our storage unit. And I said that basically everything that's in here is a double, a triple, extra that we don't really have room for in the store. And everything in the middle here, well, this is all the stuff that didn't sell at our last outdoor sale. That's kind of the way it is. This stuff will come out at our next sale. But I am going to go through this today and try to find some Wii U games that we sold at our last sale. I do have Wii U games right over there, you can kind of see in the middle there. But I also want to see if we have more in these bins. I'm also going to make a few Wii bundles today. So rather than taking the stock that's over here on the shelves, I'm going to be going through our bins here and finding a lot of Wii games that I can make bundles out of. All right, so I found the Wii games, and I basically have a few different bins here full of Wii games, and what I'm going to do is take a bunch of these and bundle them with some of our Nintendo Wiis. Now, if you've heard me talk before, you know that we have Wiis. Ooh la la, look at all those Wiis. So we need to move those Wii consoles, because the truth is we're going to be getting many more over the upcoming months. And we basically sell them at a huge discount just to move them. So I'm going to grab a bunch of games from here to put in some of our bundles. So all the games that I grabbed for those Wii bundles are going to be available at the store this Sunday. So if you're watching this video on the Tuesday that I post it, come to the store this Sunday, grab these bundles. All right, so here's a little mini tour of the storage unit right now, moments before I'm about to restock. We have a good amount of NES right now. Always happy with the NES. We actually have a lot more NES here and here as well. Super Nintendo's not doing too bad, although we always need some more of those obscure titles. PS1 is doing very good. And guys, we're getting to the point with PS1 that, I mean, let's be honest here, like when you have this many copies of Parasite Eve and Final Fantasy, like it gets really hard to be buying this for the store. I know we had a client come in last week with Final Fantasy games, and it's like, I don't know, people are they're selling their Final Fantasy games for the PS1, and we have a lot, and we actually have more than this in our outdoor sale bins as well. Really happy with our GameCube overstock right now. It's looking pretty good. These are bundles that were left over from the last sale. So funny. So we may put a few more of those in the store. I keep talking about how the Wii U is not selling. So like we have this bundle here for $145, all these games. We tried selling that the last sale. It just didn't happen. We always have a really good stock here for the 360. And one game I noticed recently, we have a second copy of Operation Darkness, a very expensive game for the 360. And PS3 section is very well stocked right now because our store PS3 section is doing very good. Our OG Xbox at the top there, and then you got your Wii and PS2. Those are just the games. At the top we've got bins and other stuff, sort of miscellaneous items. Those are all controllers at the top there. So Wii controllers, N64 controllers, and then obviously everything in the middle here. So when I do the restock, I'm going to be going all around here to grab everything that I need. If there's something that's not there, I may go into the middle here to check, but usually that's not the case. Hey guys, look, I found Joe's favorite game. He refuses to put this on the shelf because he just wants to keep it here, so every time he does the restock, he knows it's here and he can look at it. All right guys, I just finished up, and funny thing, I wanted to film myself grabbing everything from the storage unit and then speed up the video and put some really cool music. Unfortunately, the list was actually on my phone, so I wasn't able to do that because I film with my phone. Now, Joe always says that I use a paper copy, and that is false. I used to use a paper copy. I don't anymore. So anyway, I got the restock done. I'll show you what we're going to be grabbing to be putting in the store next Sunday. So here's everything that I was able to find from the storage unit. Had some luck with a lot of items, and unfortunately not a lot of luck with some other stuff. Basically, these are the only NES games that I was able to find. I sold about 15 NES games over the past 2 weeks. And unfortunately, a lot of the ones that we sold were sort of the obscure ones. You know, we just don't have those games. We don't have extras of those games, unfortunately. So we sold some GameCube games, but I'm also going to be bringing a couple of these in to give us some extra stock for the Christmas season. Sold a couple of NES consoles. We actually sold a Wii console, which is super sweet because we haven't sold one of those outside of a bundle in ages. We also sold a Model 2 Genesis, and then a few other items in here, including a copy of Shadow Hearts. So we got 2 copies in last week, both of them, and one of them actually sold. So there we go. We got some more Shadow Hearts going into the store. Got some cool Super Nintendo going in there too, including a second copy of Top Gear 2. Didn't think I actually had that, so that was a nice little surprise. Here we have some Wii U restock and some 360, and then some more Wii U restock because we actually sold a lot of Wii U the last time that I was at the store. So that's it, guys. That's what I was able to find. Wasn't able to find everything I was looking for. We are running low on certain key items. I'd say I was able to find roughly like 75% of what we sold, which is pretty good. But like I said, we're always looking for the obscure stuff, and unfortunately don't have a lot of it in the storage unit right now. All right, guys, so you may have noticed that some of the games that were in the restock were priced and some games weren't priced. You may have also noticed that some of the prices are different from the prices you may find in the store. Some prices might be lower than the current rate, and some prices might actually be higher than the current rate. Basically, when you have a storage unit, stuff sits here for a while, right? So whenever we grab stuff from the storage unit, we have to make sure to price it appropriately. And truthfully, sometimes we're going to put it up a little bit, right? And sometimes we actually put it down. If a game has gone down in value, we don't want to price it too high because it's just going to sit in the store. The more important of those two there is to address when you hike up a price, right? So some of the stuff that's been sitting in the storage unit has been here for a year, 2, sometimes more. And Joe and I typically do price the items before we put them in here. We don't always do that, but let's say we priced something 2 years ago and the game has gone up. Let's say it was like a $20 game and now it's like a $30 or $40 game. I mean, we're going to price it appropriately to where it's at, right? And I don't feel like that's being disingenuous at all, because anyone that has a collection at home, or anyone that sells anything for that matter, will always look up the current value of what they're looking to sell. The best way I would describe this in terms of collecting or selling at a store or someone selling their personal collection is that you buy games, from year to year, right? And 5 years ago, games were a lot cheaper than they are now. So if you went to go sell some games from your collection, would you seriously go sell them at the prices from 5 years ago, or would you sell them at the current rate? And I think most people would, sell them at the current rate. I will say this too, though. Let's say that, for some reason, one of these games slips by Joe and I, we don't reprice it, we don't look it up, and let's say like it's gone up crazy in value. That's okay. If we accidentally sell a game at the store like lower than what it should be, we're totally fine with that because we priced it previously at a price that we were comfortable with. And we're okay with that. Joe addressed this actually in an older video where sometimes we price an item, and it might even be a little bit high at the time, but over time, that price will actually come down naturally, especially for the super rare items, because those prices typically don't go down. And I'll give a good example. We sold a copy of Bomberman 2 for the NES recently. It was CIB It was mint, like a gorgeous looking box. And we had it priced at $4.95. That price includes the taxes. So let's say it's like, somewhere between $4.20 and $4.40 is what we get after taxes. Sold for $4.95. I happened to look it up with the guy that was there buying it because I was curious. I'm like, has this game gone up? Has it gone down? Turns up it's like over 600 now. And this is a mint copy, which if you're doing proper price charting, that should be way more than 600. And anyway, he bought it at $4.95, and we were totally cool to sell it to him at that price. I didn't feel bad. I wasn't like, oh no, we missed out on money. We didn't miss out on money. We priced it at a price that we were willing to sell it at. So when it comes time for us to be restocking the items in our storage unit, we're going to do our due diligence. We're going to research the games. We're going to price them at a price that we know we can sell them at. And if the game has gone up, we're probably going to price it up. If the game has gone down, we're going to price it down. Yeah, so that's basically how we price items coming out of our storage unit. All right, guys, that's all for me. Hope you enjoyed this video. The next time you see me, I will be at the store putting all of the restock up on our shelves. See you then.